I'm Queen ShanShan, and this is a broadcast podcast. Broads! Hey girl, hey. We hope you loved last week's episode 11 with Sean Dwyer and Elizabeth Cullen from Poke Prod as we discuss the pros and cons of working in the film and TV industry, how they started, and their friendship. Also, check out their new film, Walk, Ride, Rodeo, that will be released on March 8th on Netflix. Mark your calendars! It was a fun episode, and we hope you will enjoy it. This week, it's a doozy, and I apologize to you, broads, in advance. I have my best friend. I've invited my best friend on the show, so barrel down and strap on your seatbelts and lower down the volume on your phones or computers or whatever. This week, we have Heather Damn Dawn Dody on the show, and we are going to snap on some great topics, such as Heather Dody, CEO of Ingenium, wife, mother, and the biggest dork on the earth. How we met, our friendship history, my experience with a stranger I met randomly named Narda when we met in the Ulta beauty store. And we got a brand new segment called Just the Facts, Ma'am. We are going to dish on the Jussie Smollet drama and updated info. Hey, broads! We have a brand new sponsor, and it's tax season. Advanced Business Solutions is a family-owned business located in Inglewood, California. Let me tell you something. They come with over 20 years collectively of professional experience for tax preparation, payroll services, translations, business filings, mobile notary, and accounting services. They have been keeping me on the straight and narrow for over 12 years. I trust Jessica and Marian Asnaya with my money, and so should you. Contact them today at 310-915-9800 or email them at abtaxsolutions@yahoo.com. They can be found on Facebook at Advanced Business Solutions. Tell them Queen ShanShan sent ya. Hunty! Heather, what's for dinner?
First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. Second of all, I want to say that it takes a dork to know a dork. With that, we had Indian food tonight, and it was bomb. Hunty!
And that's how we're going to start the show. We had Indian Tandoori, a restaurant at 5468 Wilshire. We ordered chana masala, vegetable coconut curry. Did you like it?
Loved it.
And I have my trusty, rusty Mr. Edward Carr. Let's go.
No, dog show.
Dog show?
Dog
oh, that's
show.
right. Saturday Night Live. Oh,
Rusty Dog Show?
That's
That's it. I'm back in the hot seat again.
back in the hot seat again.
Behind the Iron Curtain.
We ordered. Oh, okay. Yes, you are. Did you like your vegetable soup that you ordered?
I thought everything was really good,
Mm-hmm.
exceptionally good considering what's going on in my body right now.
Mm-hmm.
The rice was the next level. I mean, it was like stratosphere level.
Was it really?
Really good.
He was eating it up. 3 servings.
Really?
It was really good.
I was like, can I have some of that?
So yeah, I enjoyed it. At least 3 wigs up from me, maybe 4.
3 wigs, 3 to 4 wigs.
3 to 4 wigs.
I'm gonna
What's
give
the
it
max wigs?
5.
5.
Ooh, I'd give it 4 to 5 wigs.
Really? Okay. So we have a disparity here of. I really enjoyed the cheese naan. We ordered some cheese naan.
Nom, nom.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Nom nom. And so we're gonna give India Tandoori 4 wigs. Let's
Okay.
just say 4 wigs up.
4 wigs up. I like it.
4 wigs up.
4 wigs up. 4 wigs up. It was delivered by DoorDash. Hashtag DoorDash. Are you listening? Indian Tandoori. Thank you.
So remember that time we were driving down the 5 freeway? And we got off in La Jolla and you stopped and I crashed into you?
Yes, I do. You have.
That was the beginning of our friendship. I'm pretty sure.
Such a great friendship that you crashed
You
into.
had me at bang.
Yeah, I was driving my Toyota Tercel. You were driving a Honda.
And your car said I'm in control.
That's right. My license plate literally said in
Janet
control.
Jackson.
That's
in
right.
control.
That's right. So, that's how the show is starting, you guys. That's Heather Dody. She's taking over the damn show. Good God.
That's what I do.
Okay. Introduction of Heather Dody. She is my best friend. I've known her since 1423. Is that when Columbus
Roughly
discovered America?
1492.
Or 92? 1492?
You're a historian here, and you're like...
The good news is this podcast isn't about history.
Really?
Thank God.
Not long term, anyway.
Thank God. I've known this girl for days, and I really admire her. She is a CEO. She is a mother. She is a wonderful wife. She has 20 years of experience or expertise in the hazardous waste management industry as a C-level executive. That's how you started, right? Is that how you started? Or is that what you are now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm just joking. I started in sales.
Okay, she started in sales. And then sales marketing director, account manager, and as a seasoned entrepreneur who has launched several existing waste management firms, Heather is now a founding partner of Ingenium and currently serves as its chief executive officer. What?
What?
Heather, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I should clarify I started answering phones in the hazardous waste industry.
The number you have dialed has been changed.
Speak on it.
I will. So I was going to college and I needed to pay my way for room and board, which prompted me to look in the newspaper for a job. Yes, you heard me right. We didn't have the internet at the time. And so I looked at the newspaper and found this local listing for a job in the area, which was answering phones for a company that managed hazardous waste. Mm-hmm. And they hired me to answer phones for them while I was going to college.
And then after that, you went to San Marcos University, or you said San Luis Obispo?
So yes, I did go to San Luis Obispo, only for a short while though, because I didn't care for the major I was in, which was engineering, and it just wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So I went on to Cal State San Marcos, mm-hmm. and that's where I got my degree in accounting.
Now, as you hear me gulp my glass of wine, or my sip of wine, Heather and I met through a mutual friend. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really speak to this mutual friend anymore, but we met through this mutual friend. And Heather was this very shy, can I use the word sheltered?
I like the word conservative.
All right. Well, I spit on my microphone. She was this conservative girl that I met, and when I used to live in San Diego. Very proper. Very demure girl. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what chemistry we had together when we met, but we obviously clicked. And we used to go to Mexico. We used to go to Tijuana. We used to have good times. We used to go to the E Club on
Camp
Pendleton. And we had amazing times. 1995 was our pinnacle year. Can you agree?
Absolutely.
Pinnacle year 1995. And
wait, were you guys in Dusk Till Dawn by chance?
Till Dawn.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, that's a movie. Yeah. No, we were not with frickin'.
Just wondering.
It was like with George Clooney and
Ooh.
No.
Yes, maybe.
Okay, I was just wondering because it's Tijuana and a bar.
Oh God, no! We did not have a stripper dancing and she became a snake. No, okay. There was nothing like that. We went to iguanas. We went to Papas and Beer. We went to crazy. Oh my God, your mom's gonna listen to this.
My mom knows what's up.
She knows. Hi Jan, how you doing? So I had a chemistry with Heather immediately because she was hysterical. She was. Even though she was shy and conservative at this time, I brought her out of her shell. Can you attest to that?
I blame you for that.
Oh, you blame me for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my fault. So, I loved Heather's personality because even though she was at that time conservative and like, what's going on? She was, going to college and she was learning things. Me and her had a very good kinship. And we got each other. And I'm like, this is my girl. And over the years of traveling together, we've been from Mexico, we've been to, obviously, different destinations and vacations. We love Palm Springs together. We love to go get our massages and our facials. We love all kinds of, cool things. It's like, Heather is my go-to. So when I am sad, when I am mad, when I feel like crap, I will text her and she knows immediately what's wrong, girl. What, and things have changed over the years. She's married and she has a kid and everything like that. But Heather is my go-to. And I have other close friends, trust. I have other close friends that I talk to about personal things, but girl, you're my B. And the funny thing, when I say the word B, we're going to say bitch. She's my bitch. And I don't know if you guys are going to be offensive to that, but we always call each other, what up, B? What up, bitch? Whatever. And it's not an offensive word. It's an actual term of endearment that we use with each other. Can you agree?
Yeah, do you remember that time we were shopping and I was like, hey, bitch? And that girl turned around and she was like, what the? She was so offended.
So basically, our kinship, our friendship has evolved, obviously, for the last 8,000 years. And I call her my B, and she calls me her B. And that is, I love that because she's my B. Hi, B.
Hi, B.
And I have other B's in my life, and we call each other B's, and it's a term of endearment. It's a sisterhood. And I just want to thank you, Heather, for being there on my side when I need companionship, when I need an ear, and a drinking partner, because we love our wine, right? We love our wine. So, B, tell the audience, tell the broads, after you went to college, after you worked as a person answering phones at this other hazardous waste management company, where did you go from there?
Well, so I was in my final semester of college, and I was approached by a competitor, somebody who had moved into the area, was a new competitor, sought me out because I started answering phones for that company, but ultimately I ended up designing a marketing program for medical waste. And this competitor came into the neighborhood, wanted to add a medical waste facet to their business, heard about me, sought me out. And I was kind of like, well, I'm in my final semester. I'm going to be an accountant. But if you pay me double my salary, I will come to work for you. So he agreed, and he said, okay, you're going to come build a medical waste campaign for me, and then you're going to do sales. And I was like, I am never going to do sales. Like, you're out of your mind. I'm going to be an accountant. And anyway, one thing led to another, one opportunity after another. I ended up in sales. And simultaneously, pretty much within a year of that, we started our own business. He was like, well, we can do this ourselves. And I was like, why not? What do I have to lose? We had an investor. And so we started a company. And one thing led to another still, and never looked back. Here I am 23 years later and running a company. We're $20 million, 5 locations up and down the West Coast, and managing hazardous waste.
You mean you did have some strife? There was some... There was a time where you had to do you had a transition in life.
I have a question.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Yeah. What Edward?
What is hazardous waste?
Oh, well, okay. Well,
so hazardous waste is anything that can't go in the trash. It could be poop.
It could be
it's
poop.
Contaminated with mercury. No, I'm just kidding. True story, actually. No, so think of anything that's can't go in your trash can. It's regulated by the federal government, and actually in the state of California, everything's regulated. So your light bulbs, your batteries, aerosol cans, all those things. We're a business to business, so it's things like in manufacturing or the biotech research and development chemicals, toxic materials.
So not like medical waste.
We
right?
do medical waste too.
Okay.
That's considered biological waste or biohazardous waste.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. I just never knew what hazardous waste was. Mm-hmm. Now I know.
Now you know.
Now you know. Can we get into the real tea? And then 5 years at the company that you were working for, there was some strife amongst some of the partnership, in which resulted in some legal action and control of the company. And while there was some strife, and then the courts had to decide, you decided to work for Macy's, right? As a makeup consultant.
Yeah, so that was a really tough time in my life. I was young. I didn't really know what was going on. I had never been party to a lawsuit before. We were the plaintiff suing, and it turned out that the judge wanted... so let me back up and just say that we had some strife among the partnership, and after trying to work things out, we were going to take a different direction, which resulted in one of the partners locking the other partners out of the company. And we had no option but to sue. So while we're in the lawsuit, the judge says, well, you guys need to stay home. You're going to earn a paycheck, but you can't come to work because we can't affect the business on a day-to-day basis. So not knowing what that meant, for the first month, I stayed home. And I couldn't sit there anymore. So I thought, what else can I do? And I took up a job at Macy's doing makeup for Lancome.
That's right.
Yeah, for about 5 months.
Did you like it?
I did, actually. I offended somebody when I said, oh, I love this job. It's so mindless.
Oh.
And I didn't mean it to be offensive. It was just kind of like, I don't have to go to work and be thinking on my toes 24/7.
Right.
People come up, they want some mascara. What color do you want? Here you go.
Right.
So, yeah.
You liked it?
I did.
Cool. In that transition after that, then you and the 4 partners that you have devised a great strategy, and you became Ingenium.
Yeah, so because I was the sales aspect for the business, I had the relationships. And the thought was, the longer time goes by, the more time goes by, the more potential for those relationships to become stale. So life goes on, business goes on, and I'm told by the courts not to contact the customers because anything that might affect the business is problematic. So Heather, you stay back. I know you have relationships, but we're advised let's not make contact.
So no, you had to sign a NDA for that.
I didn't have to sign an NDA. It was just advice from our counsel that in the best interest of what we're trying to do, which was settle a lawsuit for ownership of the company, then staying quiet was our best chance.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. And the thought was, the longer time goes by, the more the relationship stale. So we decided to settle that lawsuit without really getting much, because we figured if we started a new business, we would gain more in a shorter period of time with my relationships.
Okay.
And that's when we decided to start Ingenium.
Great. And you are now, proudly to say, you're in your 13th year.
Yes, I'm proud to say this is our 13th year, started in December.
Yay!
I
And
know,
then
right? It's crazy.
You literally, the company in I'm sorry, not 5 years ago, but the revenues have grown over year after year, and have finished in 2018 of over 20 million.
Yes.
What?
I know.
So that means I can buy $20 million worth of wigs for my best friend?
Well, if you understood a little bit more about business, you know there's a cost that goes into
You know
earning
what?
$20 million.
My best friend owns the company, and she's the CEO. She can buy me $20 million of wigs.
She cook the books. No, that's empty.
Listen,
Never
cash
mind.
is cash, people.
Never mind. All right.
And you know what? We can buy wigs with cash, so it's all good.
I know.
It's all good.
I have another question. if
Yeah.
I may, Your Honor.
Easy with the side banter over here.
What does Ingenium mean?
Good question. Nothing.
I knew it.
It means
It's
nothing?
just one of those made-up words, right?
Yeah, so funny story. When we started the company, we decided to put into a hat different name suggestions. And we actually picked Apex Environmental. We thought Apex, top of the mountain, first in the phone book. Makes sense, right? We hired a marketing firm, and one of the suggestions, they didn't like Apex. They said everybody is Apex something or other. And they said, what else do you have? And I said, well, somebody suggested Ingenium. They said, great, let's do it.
But what does Ingenium mean?
I said, well, what does it mean? They said, who cares? Everybody's going to say, what does it mean?
Oh.
So it's getting a conversation started without any effort out the gate.
Okay, well,
It's
like
literally
A-Broad.
ingenious.
It is, right?
Ingenium
It's brilliant.
is ingenious.
Easy. You're corny.
Now,
right
my partner tried to say that it was Latin for ingenious, but he later came back and said it means nothing. So I've never verified either way. We could look it up.
Well, the company is profitable, and your strategic plan includes objectives for consistent growth of 25% for the next 3 years?
Yeah, girl.
Girl!
Hey!
Hey, girl, hey. And you have how many employees as of now?
Oh, we have just over 70 employees.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are expanding. You're already in San Diego. You're in San Jose. You're Sacramento, Portland, and Seattle. Where do you expect to expand?
Well, actually, we're going to stay close to home and open up in LA and another facility in the Northern California area.
Are you hiring broads
We are.
like me?
No.
How dare you? This is my best friend. She won't even hire me for her freaking company.
What are you going to do?
I will be an amazing, I can answer the phones.
Okay.
And I can show them where the biohazardous materials lay.
No. You could try.
Okay, we're already fired in the probation period.
You're fired.
Okay, I'm already fired.
Before you're hired.
Okay, well, you know what, girl? We congratulate you here at A Broad Productions because we are here to facilitate, encourage, scream out businesses and their amazing inspiration. You're inspirational. I've always told you.
Thank you.
I have been your number one cheerleader, and I applaud you. I applaud you, girl, for your accomplishments. Good for you. You know what, girl? You know, I am an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a self-employed person. And we have been hearing since political times, whatever you call it, we women, we want to call breaking the glass ceiling. What does breaking the glass ceiling really mean to you?
I think it just means not having boundaries. There's this stigma for women that we can't have babies and husbands and careers. Mm-hmm. And go up the corporate ladder, right? Mm-hmm. So can we? Yes, absolutely we can. How do we do that? I don't know that there's a magic potion. I think it starts with belief that you can do it, having a supportive spouse, obviously, who's okay with that. But I think there's absolutely opportunity for women to break the glass ceiling.
When you want to break the glass ceiling, in a male, let's be honest, you are in a male-dominated industry. I'm in a male-dominated industry, insurance. You're in hazardous biochemistry, whatever, hazardous waste. It's a male-dominated industry. How do you say, hi, I'm Heather. I have a voice to say. I have ideas. I have strategies. What are the challenges that you've had to keeping it real?
So that's a question I'm asked often, believe it or not. And I don't know if it's just me or perhaps I'm delusional. I don't really look at myself as being female and affected by that. Okay. So whether or not other people view me as a female and have something to think about it, I don't notice it. And as such, I haven't really been affected by it. You haven't really affected by it? You don't think, no discrimination, no, what's the word, caterwauling, if I want to say, or let's talk to Heather on a certain type of level. You don't feel you haven't been cornered in that situation? There was one time in 23 years, and it was actually more recent, probably 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. I went up. This was on the medical waste side. There's an annual party hosted by some trash guys, so they combine medical waste with solid waste, and it was about 500 men, older men. In Newport Beach at the Ritz-Carlton. Mm-hmm. They have this annual Armenian party. And I was one of 4 women out of 500 people. And the 3 other women were the spouses of one of the men. Mm. So I was approached many times and asked this question, who are you with? Mm. And I said, I'm with Ingenium. I'm Heather Dody. Oh, no, but I mean, who are you with? And I said, I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Well, they didn't take me seriously as a business person or a professional, but rather I must be the arm trophy of one of the other men there. And I thought, this is the most bizarre experience I've ever had. Wow. I've not experienced that previously in a male-dominated industry. So they were expecting you were the trophy wife of somebody else who was the leader, the CEO of the company. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did that make you feel? I left. I'm like, I'm not going to put up with these geezers.
Did you say, you're all fired, technically?
No, that didn't work for me, but it was just kind of like, you guys are idiots. And it was the older generation, frankly, right, that doesn't know how to refer to somebody as an administrative person as opposed to a secretary, right? Right. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm talking about. It was that generation. It was that generation. They thought you were an assistant or a secretary or a wife of somebody who was the head honcho. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what? We are the HBICs, Head Bitches in Charge.
What was that line from The Working Girl? She's my secretary.
That's right. Oh, that's Sigourney Weaver and oh my God, I had to rewatch that movie. So oh my God. Will you stop aging us, Edward?
That's what I'm here to do.
God. Okay, that movie is
with age comes wisdom, Shannon.
What'd you say?
With age comes wisdom.
That's right. Right. Well, then you must be 4,000 years old.
I am.
Okay, and
wise beyond my years.
And I'm 2,000 years old. So, hey, I've known you. I've been at your wedding. I know Mason Cakes. Love him very much. You are a powerful woman. behind that or with that or partnership, you have a powerful husband. Tell me about what it's like to have a partnership, a husband, and a wonderful son at your side at this journey.
Well, I do have a wonderful husband, and he happens to be from the same industry, which I think helps.
You know, I'm going to real quick. It does so happen he happens to be a Seahawks fan. So I'm sorry. I am going to put a couple of minuses on that. No Seahawks. Boo. Go Pack. Go.
Hey,
wait,
is this a
Go
is
Green
this
Bay
a
Packers.
football
Go Green Bay
podcast?
Packers. What?
Seahawks?
No, go Pack, go. We don't like dead birds. And you know what? What is a Seahawks? There's no such thing as a Seahawk.
What's a packer?
We pack cheese.
Oh, okay.
A guy that's packing.
We fly by and shit on people.
A Seahawk.
What is a Seahawk? There's no such thing as a dang Seahawk.
Did they go to like the game with you and?
I went to freaking Seahawks game with her. What, 3-4 years ago when it was in Seattle.
It was the best playoff game of the century.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And we were winning by 3/4, and then unfortunately Rodgers dropped the ball and blah, blah, blah. And then we lost. But that was my,
Scoreboard.
Whatever. Go Pat, go. We lost, unfortunately. Seahawks won, but they still lost. So, I lost. Didn't you lose? You didn't lose
Seahawks won. We went on to the Super Bowl.
You went to the Super Bowl, but who won the Super Bowl?
Well, I think we did.
Yeah.
Did you win that Super Bowl?
I believe that was the year we won the Super Bowl.
You guys went 2 years in a row.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I think that was the year we went to the Patriots and lost.
Right. I
Now
hate the
that I think
Patriots,
about it,
so
yeah.
go Seahawks. I hate the Patriots. Speaking of the Patriots, did you guys hear about that freaking the tea on the owner today? He was in a prostitution ring, by the way.
What?
Yes, honey. That's a whole different show we got to talk about. Yeah.
Save that for just the facts, ma'am.
So, anyways, Seahawks sucks. Green Bay rules. Go ahead.
Football's not relevant right now. Season's over. Wait till August. Next.
So, Corey Johnson is your husband.
He is.
And Mason Cakes, which is my lover. I love him so much.
That's the guy that got the birthday shout out.
Yes, that is Mason.
How'd you like the music?
I loved it. He was impressed too, believe it or not.
Aww. We gotta spill the chamomile, the gray, the tea. What experience have you had with other women in the industry or just being a high-powered executive? What is the difference, in your opinion, between jealousy or competition? Have you experienced both?
So again, I may be delusional here. I don't necessarily think I've experienced either. I come across a lot of women and I don't feel threatened by them. I don't feel like I intimidate them. Actually, I guess I do have a story where women have told me that I'm intimidating.
Spill it.
In my position.
Spill it.
I invited one of the gals that works for me to be on my leadership team. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what do you think? I was so excited to invite her, and she was quiet, and she said, well, I'm going to be honest, you're really intimidating. I'm like, I don't think I am. But I guess at work, too, I'm probably way more serious than I am here, obviously. But yeah, so I don't know. Jealousy, I don't feel threatened by it. Competition, don't see too much of it. I have a gal that works for me now. I think she's a rock star and probably going to be the next CEO of Ingenium.
What?
And she's kind of my little protege. Little protege sounds demeaning. I don't mean it like that. Mm-hmm. She is so me, and I'm so excited to train her up. She's better than me.
What?
And I recognize that.
Good
I
for
want
you.
to grow her and help her succeed in
you mean mold her in that position.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Absolutely.
We've spoken about this subject with Nicole, as you know, and Elizabeth, and it was women, it was sisterhood, it was people empowering them and making them better. And I encourage that because if it wasn't for the people in my life to make me better, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to hear that you have another Heather Dody that's in line to take over Ingenium. That's wonderful. So speaking of that, that's our next segment. And like I asked Nicole, what is on the horizon for you as the CEO of a growing company, and where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I've always wanted to be a stripper.
You were in Dusk Till Dawn. You already did that.
You are the biggest dork in the world. I can't believe you just said that. Well, if you are a stripper girl, I will be your manager. I will definitely manage that money because I'm all about the cash. I
know, right? Where can we make the most money? And so with
You've
that,
always been about
in that vein, I was thinking about where are you going to be in 5 years, and you probably need a business manager.
I will need a business manager. H.B.I.C Productions is going on different levels like we don't even know.
Right. So there may be a need there. I've been dabbling in coaching, business coaching for women. So I possibly see myself as time goes by helping more women who see themselves progressing into an executive role.
So your goal is to be a business coach, business mentor, a business consultant? What does that mean?
Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's my goal. It's just something I see that I can offer to women, up-and-coming women in executive roles. Mm-hmm. When I started as CEO, I had never been a CEO before. And I was always of the opinion, I don't know what I don't know. And I kind of felt lost. I didn't know where to even turn to for guidance. I sought out a mentor and kind of asked questions, what should I be doing? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do in this role. So as I've learned more and come to realize that anybody who's operating a business, the challenges are roughly similar over time. Whether they're today or in the future, somebody somewhere has experienced what I'm going through now. And if I can help other women who don't know what they don't know, understand, okay, in this situation, perhaps make this decision or consider these types of things, that could be a big deal, right? So it's just something I'm thinking about.
You got a client here. Because I definitely need coaching and mentoring. I'm not perfection. I don't know what I'm doing in times of leadership and becoming a stronghold in this business. I'm just starting, Heather, as you know. I'm just starting A-Broad Productions, and I am a baby. I'm an infant in this industry. So you got a client in me in terms of I need direction, I need coaching. You're going to help me with budget. I don't know what a budget is because I always had that in my insurance business that was always taken care of on the back office. Now I'm starting a brand new venture at Broad Productions. I'm going to need your services. And so can I, aka pimp you out right now?
To yourself? For a fee.
For a fee, easy.
You bring up a good point, though. So while you're doing social media, and I don't really know anything about social media, it's not relevant either. Business is business is business.
Right.
So while I may not know the details of how to operate your business, the higher level business elements of it are the same across
correct
business.
It reaches all grounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it doesn't matter if you're starting a production company, it doesn't matter if you're starting a gardening laundromat company, whatever. You are going to need someone who doesn't know what they're doing, needs a business coach. Is that correct?
I would suggest that it would be beneficial, yes.
You would suggest it would be beneficial?
Yeah, from budgeting to your point, yeah, everything starts with a business plan.
Okay.
And nothing happens without cash. So understanding that and all the other pieces in between.
So I can't wait to we're going on, by the way, Broads, Heather and I are going on this retreat at the end of March to actually learn other skills in terms of being a CEO or a leadership or a woman in business, right? I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. And actually, there's some yoga involved. I haven't done yoga in months.
Me neither.
Months. You haven't done yoga in months?
No.
You love
Depressing.
Bikram yoga.
I know.
You love it. You love to be in that 105-degree heat room and sweat. I did it 3 times with you, and I couldn't stand it. I wanted to kill myself.
I haven't been back, and I need to go back. I can't stand it.
You're good at it. You're good at it, girl. So that's going to be a fun weekend. I can't wait for that weekend. So we're going to go into another cheesy topic. What inspires you, girl? What motivates you? What gets you up out of bed? You're in your comfy, gorgeous house in San Diego. Excuse me. You're in San Diego. You're waking up to a Seahawks fan, and you're saying, oh, my God, I'm waking up next to a Seahawks fan. What else is for me in this world?
Yeah, I never get up and think quite like that. Oh, my Seahawks fan. My gorgeous house. What else? I mean, why would I leave?
Why would you leave your house?
With that perspective.
What inspires you to really get up in the morning, have your cup of tea or coffee? Why do you have this drive?
That's a good question. Something I've asked my mother, believe it or not. The fact that I can get up every morning, be driven without thinking about it, is a question I continue to ask myself. I know that I'm motivated to have enjoyment and pleasure, and however I can attain that. I'm inspired by people who are risk takers, who aren't afraid to do things without really worrying about the consequences, and or being judged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah, I don't need to preach, but in a nutshell, it's pretty simple.
So, I'm going to talk about my friendship with Heather, and this is, I like I said, I've already, 25 minutes ago, whatever. I appreciate you. You're my good friend. You're my best friend. We have a lot of great history together. I was in Lancaster this week for work, and it's kind of a boring town, podunk town. It's but I do well for my business there, and I have a lot of great clients up there. And I am low on some medical. I was low on some makeup supplies. And
Really?
Yeah, girl.
I was just in your bathroom. I don't even know where to sit on the toilet.
Shut up.
Right?
I don't have enough makeup.
Wipe my butt with Morphe brushes.
Hashtag Morphe.
I mean, there's not even room in the bathroom. They're in the hallway, too.
Oh, shut your mouth. My makeup is organized
Anyway,
and clean.
go on. In Lancaster, you need
Oh,
more makeup
God, you are the
because
worst.
you're out
You're the
of
absolute
bronze.
worst. Anyways, my makeup. It's ShanShan's world. Anyways, I'm in Ulta and I'm shopping for some replacements because I ran out. And you know it's funny how you feel about yourself. You don't feel like you're like gorgeous or beautiful. You don't go into the store. You go to your Target. You go to your TJ Maxx. You go to the grocery store. You buy
not
whatever.
thinking about it.
I'm not thinking about how I look. I'm just thinking like I'm plain Jane. So I literally was in the store after a long ass day of work, and I walk by and I'm walking by Landco, whatever, and this lady comes up to me. She's like, "You are absolutely gorgeous," and I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you." And she's like, can you help me with my makeup? I'm like, well, I don't work here. Do you want me to get somebody to help you with your makeup? She's like, no, I know you're a customer. Can you help me with my makeup? And I'm like, okay.
That's random.
Totally random, girl. Totally random. And she was down and out. And she was asking me what am I wearing, what the foundation I was wearing that day. She was really fascinated by my lip gloss. And it was literally a lip topper. I had no lipstick on. It was lip topper. It was Pat McGrath. It was my favorite. And I think it's called Alienagist, whatever. Pat McGrath. Hashtag Pat McGrath. I hope you're listening. Gotta get that shout out. It's one of my favorite lip toppers. I love it. And I get the most compliments when I wear this lip gloss. Anyways, she was complimenting my makeup and she was saying, you're pretty, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, can you help me with my makeup because I'm going to a funeral tomorrow? And I'm like, oh my God. So immediately I'm tapped in, I'm engaged. And I said, well, who passed away? And she said, my best friend. And my faculties just failed. I just like, oh my God. Because Heather, as you know, I lost a really good friend, Karen, when I was 27, she was 35. She was one of my very, very good friends of cancer. And I was devastated for years. And her eyes started welling up. And she's come to find out that her best friend died and was killed on Super Bowl, a recent Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, by a drunk driver. She was walking home or walking on the street or somewhere, and a guy who was drunk killed her. And she said the impact was so hard that she landed on her head and she was completely brain dead at that time. And I think she leaves 3 children.
That's horrible.
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 And while she was telling me, her name is Narda. Hi, Narda. I hope you're listening. She was welling up. Her tears were welling up. And she was like, that was my best friend for life. 35 years of friendship. And I thought about you. And I thought about Lynette. And I thought about Kim. These are my best friends of life, that how devastated I would be. And apparently her best friend was all about the makeup and all about the glitz and glamour. And Narda, she's plain Jane. She doesn't wear makeup. She doesn't wear lipstick. She's a plain Jane woman. So to be at the Ulta store that night was a big deal for her because the funeral was the next day. So she wanted to dress up for her best friend. She wanted to have some makeup. She wanted to look good for her best friend. And she didn't have any direction. So she sought me, a complete stranger, in the aisle, and I immediately said, what do you need help with? So literally I was with Narda for maybe 45 minutes in the aisle. We're testing out Stilla, we're testing out Lancome, we're testing out Buxom, we're testing out all kinds of lipsticks to make sure she's got the right shade. I got her the right shade. She was ultimately grateful. Not only that, she got some eyebrow from Anastasia because she wanted to work on her eyebrows, and she wanted just to be pretty for her best friend's funeral. Now, I don't know how the funeral went. Obviously, it was last week. But I wanted to say, my point is that when we have our best friends, when we have our sisters, and, our brothers, or our boyfriends, or our friends that we call family, that when we have this immediate connection with people that we call our sisters, you're my sister, Heather. Heather, you're my best friend. I was there for your son's birth. I love Mason very much. Most of you guys don't know, I could not stand Corey, her husband.
Dude, no, why?
Oh, God, that's another episode, honey.
Why?
Oh.
Did you want him?
Because he's so yes. Thank you. You nailed it.
I do not want Corey.
Nailed it.
Gross. He's a Seahawks fan. Gross.
He's
No.
also a silver fox, and he's hot.
Corey is not hot.
Oh, he's super hot.
Well, okay. Corey, if you're listening, I hate the Seahawks. Corey is a
That's
good
your
man.
way of saying I'm sorry, sweetie.
Corey is a good man. Corey is a good husband. He loves my Heather. He loves Heather. And again, this is a whole different subject, whole different episode, but Corey loves Heather. And it took me a long time to accept Corey because I was super jealous. You know when your best friends come together and you got a new man in your life, you're like, what the F? Mm-hmm. You're not taking, Oh, that's a whole different episode. Anyways, Heather, I want to say, God forbid if something ever happens to you, I would be devastated. I would be absolutely devastated if something happened to you. And, Narda, I just want to say I understand what you're going through, girl. I understand what you're going through. If you lost your best friend, you love your kids. We were talking about her kids. Her kids encouraged her to do something with her makeup because she's so anti-makeup. Narda was so anti-makeup. She was such a cool girl. She worked for LA City. And she was so nice to say those things to me because I wasn't feeling that good about myself that day. So, you never know who inspires you in your life and who comes in your life for a different reason. And I can't believe I'm crying on my freaking podcast.
I can't. Good.
What the heck is going on?
It's ratings week, folks. It's ratings week.
Oh, God. I do not want to be... you know what? If I'm going to be the next Los Angeles Oprah, then here we go. Because I got the ugly cry for real.
Good news, nobody can see you.
Oh, God, I know I look awful. God, I look awful. But anyways, girl, I love you. You're my best friend. And I'm so thankful that you're here in my life.
I love you too.
Thank you. Hi, Heather. You like the Madonna Minute?
I love the Madonna Minute.
Okay. Recently seen in Los Angeles. Hi, 5 miles from me in WeHo at the top Los Angeles Cycle House. Come on. If you don't go Cycle House, you don't know anybody. You're not anybody, apparently. But she was seen in the Cycle House in WeHo a few days ago, exercising, getting her sweat on. And sources say she was energized and wearing a t-shirt that said, Phenomenal Woman. Madonna will throw her 12th annual A-list Oscar bash this Sunday with her manager, Gary Asari, at his home after the awards show.
Guy Osiri.
Excuse me. Guy Osiri. You know who Guy Osiri is?
Girl, please. Yes, of course. Of course I know. And I'm going to the party. I didn't tell you, did I?
Shut up. You are not.
I'm going to the party this weekend.
The party with us or the party with Madonna?
The Madonna party.
Oh, what?
Let's tell you that.
You are lying.
I'm hanging out with Edward. I changed my mind. I'll have to ditch you on Sunday.
Great.
I'm going in my dreams.
Oh.
And I I would go work that party.
I would serve weenie beanies or beanie weenies at that party. Are you freaking kidding me?
You have a future guest that's coming on the show.
We
that
should
worked
try to
it 2 years
crash
ago.
it.
You know that, right? She worked it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What if we crashed that party?
We would be arrested.
What do you call it? Like, what's the award thing this weekend? Academy Award?
Oh my God, Heather's so anti.
Academy
The Academy Awards.
The Academy
girl.
Award party crashers.
And we would be in jail. Broads.
Hey.
Hey, girl, hey. We have a new segment, and it's called Just the Facts, ma'am. And our new...
Just see the facts.
Is it Jussie or Jessie?
It's
Jussie.
It's Jussie.
Jessie?
His mama.
Jussie. I don't know why you named Jussie.
His mama liked the U.
It takes up a lot of space.
Jussie Smollet. Okay, it has been a week of Jussie Smollet like ridiculous. And I'm going to give you the chronological facts of the timeline of this drama. Empire actor Jussie Smollett told Chicago police last month that 2 men attacked him near his apartment building in Streeterville, slipping a noose around his neck and yelling racial and homophobic slurs. More than 3 weeks later, authorities said now they believe Smollett was lying and charged him with disorderly conduct, alleging he filed a false police report. January 22nd, the week... What?
You have 3 minutes for this.
Oh, okay.
You can't get through that whole thing in 10.
Well, let me just give it a freaking breakdown, girl.
The breakdown is, fast forward to today, he is a fraud. What do we think about it?
Fast forward to this. I should have a job at the Chicago police department because the second I heard that shit, I was like, he's lying.
And they didn't think that.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
He's lying.
I am the freaking host of this freaking podcast.
I'm just saying, like, you could go through the whole the background, but at the end of the day, the reality is today, he's in jail. Because why?
He's not in jail. He's on a $100,000 bond.
Fine. He bailed himself out.
Right.
But what? Okay, so how many days? Next day was what? June 22nd?
June 22nd.
No, but you got a month worth of time.
I know, but people may not know what's going on with
Who
Jussie
cares?
Smollett.
Fast forward, you have a black man who faked his brutal beating by 2 other black men.
Why I gotta be black?
Why?
Why are you black?
Because he is. Just the facts, ma'am. He's black, and so are the 2 guys that allegedly beat him up. Just saying.
Well, okay, so that's a good point.
Yeah, so fast forward to...
A black man hires 2 black men to beat him up.
Because he's a... Oh, don't put that in there.
And then pay him with a check.
A post-dated check.
I've lost control of my show.
After you beat me up, then you can cash this check.
Right.
Okay, I wanted to go down the freaking just the facts, ma'am, facts. Can I freaking do that right now?
I think you should do it from a high level. I'm a CEO. I can't stand the details. So
Jesus
check this out. What if you just
Christ.
said black man who's a very popular star character on the Fox show Empire
Uh-huh.
gets beat up in January. Come to find out, the dude paid 2 other dudes to beat him up.
But the thing is, he came out saying that, yeah, you're right. It was, I got beat up because I'm black and I'm gay. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was going to go to the subway. I finally called the police. Everybody's up in arms. The nation is up in arms. We're mad at, because he said it was MAGA country. They yelled out MAGA country or Trump nation. Excuse me, I burped. I was livid that day that came out. Whenever that was, January 22nd, I told Rick and I told Devin, I told Rick, I told Edward, I was pissed. And so we talked about it. This is the problem, Heather. This is the problem with social media. We are that gut reaction. We are that I'm going to judge in 2 seconds. I hate MAGA. I hate this. I hate that. Pro this, pro that. And we don't have the freaking stories. And now the story comes out that this actor who had no reason. Why did he do this? Why did you do this, Jussie? You are gorgeous. You are popular. You are a successful actor. You are going to do this to your career. Now you committed career suicide in this industry. No matter where you go, McDonald's won't even freaking hire you. So what are you going to do now? Why did you do this to the black community? Why did you do this to the gay community? Heather, your thoughts?
My thoughts are he wasn't thinking about the black community or the gay community. He was thinking about himself.
Okay.
How he could get ahead by leveraging pity on both the black community and the homosexual community.
He's an asshole, period.
No, I wouldn't call him an asshole. I would just call him an idiot.
Edward, what are your thoughts?
I think he's sick. He needs help, like in the head. And anybody that would do that so loosely is obviously delusional, but I think I'm going to have to side with Heather on this. I'm like, how can anybody like that's from a minority community on either side do such a crazy thing?
I know.
He's in both communities at one time, but not everybody's in both camps at once, and he's doing it to both of them at one time. Bad move. The gays are going to turn against him and
Absolutely.
have turned against him. My friend in Chicago, you messaged her yesterday and said the gays about rose up against him, and they were picketing and like rioting at the studio where they shoot Empire. So,
really? Are they really?
Yeah, totally was doing that. So,
Imagine this, though, if I may. I'm not original with this, but I'm like, oh, it's brilliant. And if he twists his story, he could come out a hero in the whole thing. We are now becoming more divided as a homosexual black and white community because of this.
Thanks. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they say that we're already divided enough as a country. He further divided us.
Yeah, unfortunately. But maybe we'll turn around because, again, Daily Report, Trevor Noah made a really interesting joke last night saying, we all know that, he was hated because he's black and gay. Now we all know that he's an asshole. We are now are in agreement, so that brings the country together because he's an asshole.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. It united us. Did I say divided us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this person said we're more united because we're coming together saying, how dare this guy leverage any one of these minorities, if you will, right? And everybody comes together against him.
Right. Yeah, the whole country against him.
And so that's the brilliant part is like, well, we've all been really divided over the current political administration.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get into that because I refuse to. But no, right? This guy, he comes in and he's leveraging to his advantage only. Yeah, you're right. He has political suicide or career suicide.
Career suicide.
And he has done no favors to either side.
No.
Neither the black community or the gay community.
I'm concerned if I was an employee of Fox or employee of Empire, can you imagine? My job is in jeopardy now. You just killed my job too, Jussie.
Well, thank God he's not a huge character, is he? Or is
of course he's a huge character. He's one of the main characters.
They can literally kill him
he's one of the. I don't really watch the show, but he's one of the lions. Lyon is one of the family. This family dynasty that's portrayed in the show, and he's a main character. And as of today, again, part of the facts, ma'am, is that he has been removed on the last 2 episodes of the season.
Wow.
So I don't know if they're going to kill him off.
Well,
or
I'm
he
happy
left
to hear
as
that
a
because
character.
as of yesterday, Fox hadn't made a decision on what they were going to do.
Official today.
And I thought it was interesting because I'm like, why are they not?
Yeah, officially today.
So it's on Fox, right?
It's on Fox.
So there might not be the studio. So it could be Warner Brothers, or it could be Sony, or it could be another studio. It could be Disney. Who knows?
What are you talking about?
So the Fox is on the network, right?
Fox is the network that produces Empire.
But they don't produce it. Are you sure?
No, they own and produce the show Empire.
Okay.
Fox. Yeah.
Right. Fox 21 does.
Fox 21.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
So as of today, a Cook County judge, noting the presumption of innocence, rebuked Smollet while setting his bond at $100,000. Smollet will have to post $10,000 in cash and surrender his passport to leave lockup. So he has to surrender. He can't go anywhere. He's stuck in the United States, as he should be. And I'm going to stick to that energy. I'm going to hold him on the same account of Roseanne Barr. I'm going to hold him the same account of any type of person who, like you said yesterday, perpetuates racism. How dare you, Jussie? How
dare you?
Dare you? In light of Black History Month, Mr. Edward, we're going to talk about, really, it's kind of apropos in Oscar season, these Oscars this Sunday. What do you have for us?
I am so excited about this Sunday, by the way.
Me too.
I can't even stand it. So yes, in light of Black History Month and the upcoming Academy Awards. So in 1940, Hattie McDaniel becomes the first black woman to be nominated and win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She won the role as Mammy.
Yeah, I know.
In Gone with the Wind.
Isn't that crazy?
In 1964, Sidney Poitier becomes the first African-American to win an Academy Award for Best Actor for his role as a construction worker, Homer Smith, who helps build a chapel in Lilies of the Field. I didn't see the movie, did you?
Oh, yeah, that was also a huge Broadway play as well.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, but Sidney Poitier, the epitome of style.
I mean, icon. So in 2002, Halle Berry, Lord have mercy. I still get steamy when I say that name. Huge crush. Halle Berry becomes the first black woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as Letitia Musgrave and Monsters Ball. Do you remember her role?
I do remember
in
that. She had the short. Yeah, she was. It was very emotional character. Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Okay, what?
I remember the Academy Award winning dress that she wore. So gorgeous.
Phenomenal dress.
And then does she wake up looking like that all the time?
I hate her.
I mean, honestly,
You said
like
2002?
that was in 2002.
Okay, so
yeah.
fast
Amazing
forward
stuff.
17 years, she still looks amazing.
Amazing.
She doesn't.
Amazing. Black don't crack
Black
for
don't
real.
crack. I wanted to talk about somebody else that you may have never heard of before, and this has to deal with beauty. One of your hot topics.
Okay.
Okay. So did you know that Madam C.J. Walker was considered the wealthiest African American businesswoman and wealthiest self-made woman in America at the time of her death in 1919?
What? Who is that again?
Her name is Madam C.J. Walker.
Never heard of her.
She was a fascinating woman. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women.
Okay.
Through business she founded called the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. Walker was also known for her philanthropy and activism. She made financial donations to numerous organizations and became a patron of the arts. Villa Luaro, Walker's lavish estate in Irvington-on-Hudson, New York, served as a social gathering place for the African American community. Girl, she was considered like Oprah 1.0.
Okay.
Right?
I gotta look into her.
And she died in
Madam Walker?
Yeah, she died in 1919, so she was born in the mid 1800s.
Of course.
Like she was slaying it.
Okay, well we need to
All
hashtag
those years
Miss Madam
ago.
Walker here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's this week's Week in History.
Thank you, Edward. If you are abroad and you want to come on our show to discuss your experiences with food and culture and beauty and travel, please email us at abroadproductions@gmail.com. For more information about the show at Abroad Productions, our brand new website, please follow us at Instagram at Queen ShanShan. Our Facebook fan page is Abroad Productions, and our Twitter account is A_broad_prod. Thank you for listening and continuing to subscribe to the podcast. I would also like to thank Heather. Thanks, girl.
Hey.
Hey, girl, hey. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I had a great time.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Please join us next week as we have two new guest hosts, Amanda and Adam Barr, LA's hottest entrepreneur power couple. I'm Queen ShanShan, and thank you for listening to Abroad.